What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Today we will be looking at the brand new 2022-23 season Arsenal home kit. Shameless PR. Arsenal PR merchants are back in full effect. On the week when we bottle Champions League football, guess what? We'll release the new home kit. How about that? That'll cheer you up. Nice £70 kit to get everybody involved again. And am I on the wrong mic, people? People saying the microphone. Let me sort that out. Apologies. Should be all right now, people. Should be all right now. Let me know. Does it sound better now? Let me know, people. Let me know. Is it still mashing up your head? Give me thumbs up if it's better, people. And we reload. I've clicked on the other one. All right, we're good now, people. We're good now. Right, let's start again. Yeah, but shameless PR settings from Arsenal. On the week that we bottle Champions League football, they release a new kit, £70 or £100 for the players' kit, and absolute shameless settings from Arsenal. But it's what we do best, people. Let me go into Granit Xhaka mode, people. Let me go into Granit Xhaka mode. This doesn't mean I'm going to do an interview criticising every one of you, by the way. Not that Granit Xhaka mode. Just the one where we go super slow. You know, them ones, people. Right, we got lots to talk about today. Big up everyone in the comments. Apologies, I was on the wrong microphone. So if I blew up your headphones at the start, apologies for that one. Kind of sums up the week for Arsenal, really, don't it? Wrong settings and all that. We're supposed to be Champions League, but it's Europa League. Big up the family podcast. Yes, Curtis. See you, Net. Big up your damn self. The puppy was missing in the video. That's all we were waiting for, people. Get the puppy on Saka's chest. Better not buy the new one, Big C. You might rip it. No, I know. I've had the joke so many times. I can't avoid it. I've got a feeling that's going to haunt me for a long time. But you know what? Embrace it. Why not? It needed ripping. Hope you're doing well, Kurt. Big up, Jack. Big up Kano in the chat. Said Kurtley. Big up, man. Respect. Hope you're all well, people. Pep Teta says big up, Big C. R10, they saw you rip the shirt and an opportunity to sell you a new one. I will not be buying this one, let me tell you. I'm not. Not unless, you know, we're like third in the league with 5 games to go and I get carried away. But I ain't buying that. See you, Net. Big up, Captain Sal. Liverpool fan, you're enjoying yourself right now, aren't you, man? Living the high life. Mr. Gray said, won't be buying the new kit, but that black kit, damn, yeah. When that drops out, I'm in trouble, I can't lie. That one could be a problem. Let Pepe leave. He's been a 7.2 million footballer. Hendaguna said, you need an NFT, that shirt ripping scene. Yeah, I need to do that, man. Someone, come. Let's talk business, people. Martinelli 11 settings. Right, you know what? Let's get into the show. Big up everyone, by the way. We've had amazing numbers on the recent streams. We hit 100,000 for the game against Newcastle. It's just a shame it wasn't a celebration. I had things planned. Let me tell you, people, I had things planned. I had waffles in the cupboard that were going to get cooked. Syrup was going to get put on them. We were going to eat waffles on here. I was even going to pop champers, people. But look, now I'm just drinking tap water. Well, not tap water, actually. It's bottled water. But yeah, that's all we got, people. They've ruined the celebration. Europa League ain't worth a damn thing. Marty Freeman said the new kit should come with a choker. I'm telling you, because we damn sure do choke, that's for sure. But right, people, let's get into this stream, by the way. We got a few. We'll start off with the kit. Let's start off with the merch. I'll do the Cronke's work for them, people, and promote the new merch. Now, for me, I'm going to start off with this picture because this compares the kit of this season and the new one. For me, I actually don't think it's all that. I've got to be honest now. You can't really get an Arsenal home kit wrong because what are you really going to change about it? It's simple. I feel like, look, I love Adidas kits compared to Puma. I couldn't stand Puma. But I just think we're getting straight copy and paste kits now. I feel like they're designing Arsenal kits in 5 minutes. You know, okay, yeah, we'll change the stripes on the shoulder from blue to white, and we'll put a collar on it and a zigzag on the collar. I mean, how long did it take to make that kit? 5 minutes? Do you know what? I gotta be honest, people. I don't like it. It's not bad because it's just an easy kit. You can't get it wrong. The collar for me puts me off it. I know a lot of people say they like the collar because the collar is from the old school, from the late 90s, early 2000s. But for me, I don't think collars should be on football kits anymore. I think they're dated. I just don't like the feel of them. I'm not Eric Cantona. I ain't about to flip the collar up and do all that. So, listen, let me know your thoughts on the kit, people. Is it better than this season's? I mean, with me, I always put a kit down to the success of the team. If we do well in that kit automatically becomes a legendary kit. So the kit we had this season is not actually that bad. I quite like it, but we ain't done anything. So the kit to me is trash, as you saw the other day when I ripped it. But let me know your thoughts, people. Dre, do you know what? I'm going to put a poll up. Let's get a poll up. Do you think the new kit is better than this season's kit? That's what I want to ask you, people. Do you think it's better? Are you going to buy it? So first I'm going to ask you, do you think it's better than this season's? Do you think... Is the new kit better than this season's? Better than this season's. There you go. Is the new kit better than this season's? There you go. First poll of the day, people. More polls than a strip club. I can't lie. The kit sold me, said Wasim. There you go. He's in the armory. Dre said, I'm a fan of the collar. No lie. When I played, we had collared shirts for our rep team. Still ain't buying a kit until we make Champions League. I mean, you ain't going to be buying a kit for a long, long time if that's the case. There's no debate. It's 10 times better. Nope, the collar is horrible. From player ratings to kit ratings, that's all we got. Arsenal Fashion Club, Arsenal Business Limited. I won't be spending £70 for that top. No, I've got to be honest. If we beat Newcastle and we were going, we were playing Everton to qualify, I might have been in the armory right now. You know, regardless. I'm going nowhere near it. DH gate settings. I don't blame you, people. I seriously, man, I don't blame you. Do what you need to do. I've got to be honest. The collar for me is what ruins it. I don't like the collar. I know that it is classy. It is the old school kind of vibe, but I don't like it. It's even got a little button there as well. That just don't work for me. And, you know, it's a lot harder to rip as well. You know, this one here, just straight down the middle, bang. This one, I got to undo the button, you know, move the collar to the side, then rip it. I like the colour, but like I said, what did Adidas give us for this? 5 minutes? Imagine how long it took their amazing designers to go from that one to that one. Don't rip this kit. I mean, you got to buy it to rip it, and I won't be buying it. I'm telling you that much. Not a fan. What I will say, let's get into a little bit more of the detail. I know I shouldn't be doing this too much because it's kind of like I'm promoting Kroenke's work for him, but a lot of you will buy the kit anyway. £5 from every kit that is sold goes to the Arsenal Foundation, which works with charities in the inner city of London and helps many good causes. So, you know, I can at least give them some credit for that. In fact, I'm going to give the credit to the people who buy it at the end of the day, because the prices of these kits are unbelievable. Now, this is the kit. Armory's fully loaded. I mean, it's clean, isn't it? It's clean. You can't get an Arsenal home kit wrong. But like I said, for me, the collar with the zigzag on it and the button, it's just out of date for me. It's not for me. It's not for me, man. I don't like the collar. I think they're dated. I don't think collars should be on football kits anymore. Yeah, big up the charity. I'd rather big up the charity than big up Arsenal. Arsenal are just PR merchants. This kit is out now. It's all over the armory, people. It's £70 for the adults home kit or £100 for the actual players kit. So, I mean, they're going to make a lot of money out of this. And I really, do you know what? I hope the sales drop because they don't deserve it. Now, one bit of news, I mean, how relevant this is, I don't know. Gabriel Martinelli has been moved to the number 11 shirt, people. He's been moved to the number 11 shirt. I believe he was number 35, I think, something like that. But he's now wearing the number 11. A lot of people were saying, was he going to get that number 14 shirt? Obviously, original Thierry Henry number. Now, everyone's saying, we've got two arguments here. Number one, are we signing someone to wear 14? Or is Eddie waiting for the 14 people? Is Edward going to get the number 14 shirt with Europa League badges? I mean, listen, it's not the vision that I had in my head, people. You know, I was here thinking, right, Darwin Núñez or Osimhen or, you know, Lautaro Martinez, number 14 with the black kit with the Champions League badges. You know, that all makes sense to me. Now I could have Nketiah 14 with Europa League badges on a Thursday night at 5 o'clock. It's just not the way I saw this, people. It's like imagining you're building a mansion and you end up in a tent. It's just not the one. If I see Nketiah 14, I will be having a meltdown on stream. I'm sorry, Thierry did not go through all that for Eddie Nketiah to end up wearing the number 14 shirt. I'm sorry, people. And I can see it happening. I can see it happening. It's Arsenal. Nothing surprises me with this football club. But Gabriel Martinelli gets the number 11 shirt. The most successful number 11 of recent times is probably Mesut Ozil. I know he came here and wanted the number 10, but obviously Jack Wilshere had it. He ended up in the 11. I always felt Ozil in the 11 was a better player than Ozil in the 10 at Arsenal. But if I see Eddie number 14, just lock the stream off, Dave, and I'll just rip whatever shirt I've got on, to be honest. Big up the community, said South London's finest. Big up yourself. Martinelli looks sick, not going to lie. Do you know what? Just briefly speaking about Martinelli, I think we spoke about this the other day. I actually don't think Martinelli has had as good a season as I would have hoped. I think he's got to seriously improve his finishing and score more goals next season. He is in the Brazil squad, so at least they're obviously liking what they're seeing. But I do think Martinelli can go up another gear next season. And obviously, as a lot of people are saying, Torreira was the number 11. Obviously, giving that shirt to Martinelli would pretty much confirm he's leaving. He also put a good luck message on Martinelli's picture saying, you know, good luck and stuff like that. So it would indicate that Martinelli taking the 11 would be Torreira moving. I think he's going to sign for Fiorentina, 15 million euros. So, yeah, but Martinelli for me is a player that has got to have more output. You know, it's all right. He's an exciting player to watch. He excites me to watch. But you need end product. Otherwise, it's all hype, really, for nothing. 1 goal in 19 is poor. That's nowhere near good enough for a player with his talent. Andrew said, Arsenal is finished, Curtis. I want Arsenal to buy a good centre mid to challenge the big clubs. Xhaka is in that kit video and a lot of other PR campaigns. No chance he'll be removed from the starting 11. Now, you make a great point, right? On Arsenal's Twitter, their main picture that they've used is obviously Arsenal in the community, which is in relation to the fact that the £5 of the shirts will go to the foundation. And the player that they've used for the picture, Granit Xhaka. It wouldn't surprise me, I'm saying it now, people, it would not surprise me if Granit Xhaka's Arsenal captain next season. I'm telling you now, I can see it. He's done interviews talking about it. It would not surprise me. They see him as the leader of this group. He's doing the community work. It sums up this football club at the moment, I'm afraid. It really does. We're a shambles. Nelson said, getting 08 Emile St. Maximum on mine. Oh, man. Get St. Maximum to the carpet after what I saw the other day. Big up, Nelson. Gunnar Roller said, love Martinelli getting 11, but that's it. No marquee signings. We're in the mud. Ain't it crazy, people, that the majority of our big numbers are being taken up by the youngsters? Now, on one hand, I like it because they're our own in that sense. But at the same time, where are the stars? Where's the superstars? Now, number 9 is available. Number 14 is available. And we need to get some big players in those positions. Chrissy said, Curtis, if Mancini, Marco Rose, Vieira or Garcia took over, they'd all improve our players, Martinelli, Saka and ESR included. Anyone who watched yesterday, the Talk is Cheap show, me and Jordan, he was asking me that, well, who would you give the job to? And for me, I've said many times, I think Mancini would be a very, very good option. Plays good football, speaks multiple languages, won the Euros, won the Premier League, highly respected as a player and as a manager. But unfortunately, the manager is going absolutely nowhere. Red White said number 14 is Jesus, bro. I mean, let's see. I'd take that right now. I can't lie, people. Party after party said that Vieira improves youngsters. Right, let's get into some news. We've got quite a few things to talk about today, actually. A lot of transfer news and the Athletic, you know, our favourite mouthpiece of Arsenal, are capping for Arsenal. The war chest stories are out once again, but we'll get into them. What I wanted to start off with today, people, is Nicolas Pepe, who looks as if he's on his way out of Arsenal this summer. Now, Chris Wheatley, who's pretty reliable when it comes to Arsenal, he's always, you know, in the press conferences and that. He's wrote a story today saying Nicolas Pepe will assess his options in the summer and recently hired the services of a new agent as he looks to secure a move away from Arsenal. This move has been nothing short of a disaster for Arsenal Football Club. It wasn't the player that Unai Emery wanted. It was the player that Martinelli did the club dirty on, let's be totally honest. There was brown envelopes all over this deal. The sad thing is, have we done enough to get the best out of this guy? I think where we've messed up is Emery signed him, although he didn't want him, and then Arteta never really seemed to want him. So we've never really... You can tell that Arteta has never trusted him. He's never put his arm around him and said, you're my player. I'm going to play you every week. We're going to get the best out of you. It just hasn't worked. And I think the club should have done more. This is when I speak about the Kroenkes not caring enough about who they've signed and how they manage a situation. Now, Nicolas Pepe, last season, just for an example, in the full season under Arteta, he did quite well. He got 18 goals and 6 assists, sorry. That is obviously including Europa League. But they are good numbers for a guy that doesn't start every week. 10 goals in the Premier League. Why has he played so little football this season? Now, don't get me wrong. Majority of the times he's come off the bench this season, he has been poor outside of probably the Wolves game. But it just makes you wonder why on the back of last season's numbers, he wasn't trusted more this season. Even though a lot of people, and I understand, I share a lot of the frustration. I think this season he's been poor, but he hasn't started a game since November. And 16 goals last season and 6 assists. And yet he wasn't given ample opportunity this season. You know, it's an interesting one. He scored more. He had the most goal contributions of anyone at the club last season, yet he was hardly playing. Vlad said he wasn't hungry enough. Yeah, maybe that's the problem. Him and Arteta just don't add up. They don't add up. They don't go together. Arteta wants wingers that never stop running. Now, where I think Arsenal have managed this situation wrong, when you dismiss a player and completely eliminate them, don't start them, show people that you're not interested in them, what that does is the people that are interested in signing him, they're going to offer you less money because they know that you don't want him. They're going to look at him and go, what? This guy can't get off the bench. If I was trying to sign Pepe now, I would offer Arsenal about 12 million for him, 14 million for him. Because I know that you've got a bigger problem on your hands if you keep him. Because he's on 130, 140 grand a week, big bonuses. He doesn't want to be there. I don't know what Arsenal are going to be able to get. It wouldn't even surprise me if he ends up going on loan with an option to buy and he has to kind of go and prove himself to try and get a move. It really hasn't worked. Penalty Spot said, I think the sending off against Leeds finished him in Arteta's eyes. I mean, the only thing I would say with that, and I think, you know, you have a point, Arteta seemed to really turn against him. What's different to what he did than what Xhaka's done multiple times or what Rob Holding did? Why was the energy different? I don't know. Pro said Pepe plays better when there's no crowd. That's a good point. Had his best season during the pandemic with no fans. Listen, I'm going to put it out there. Nicolas Pepe would have to be considered a flop at Arsenal. I'm sorry, he would. And you know me, people, I've supported this guy. I've always thought there was talent there. but he would have to be considered a flop when you look at that price tag. He was never worth 72 million, and you have to wonder how we manage this situation so bad. And this is the crazy thing about Arsenal and their management. So the story in full, basically, he's hired a new agent as he seeks a move. He's been linked with Marseille and he's been linked with Lyon. Obviously, Marseille, Guendouzi, Saliba have been there. They're on the verge of Champions League football. And listen, as I said, I don't think we'll get more than maybe 20 million for him max. I wouldn't be surprised if we got even less for him. Let me know what you think, people. Let me just end this previous poll. 57% of you say no, it's not better than last season's kit or this season's kit. 43% say yes. So pretty similar. 100% flop for me, said Caps. Neil said send Pepe on loan to Italy or France. He will bang goals and sell him on a profit. Jack says neither of them teams will pay more than 20 million for him. I agree. Dre said seems like a trend with all the French players, to be frank. Does he have... Is there a... How do I put this? I have to be careful how I word this, but does Arteta have a problem or an issue with certain types of characters, in that you look at the people he's fallen out with or the people that he's dismissed? They've either been the people that will speak up, or they've been kind of the flashier, the more... Some of them have maybe had a bit more arrogance, or they're on Instagram with Gucci headbands and gold Lambos and Rolex watches on. Is there a... Because I look at Arteta and I look at the way he is as a character, and I look at the way Pep is, and I think he's fully trying to model himself on Pep. Now, he falls out with Guendouzi, young player, French, a bit of a chip on his shoulder, didn't seem to know how to manage him. You look at Saliba, young French player. When he signed for the club, he done that video coming off a private jet in Air Jordans with the watch on. Aubameyang, gold Lambos. You know what I'm saying? Big drip. Ozil was a outspoken character. Pepe, if you've seen Pepe on social media, basketball shirts and Gucci headbands and diamond rings on. Does Arteta have a difficulty dealing with that kind of player? Because I look at the players that he signs and the players that he's worked with, and it seems like he likes the kind of well-behaved, quiet character. The ones that are a lot easier to manage. Your Smith Rowes, your Sakas, they're not going to cause you a problem, or they're not flashy characters. And this is something that I think Arteta has to look at himself and figure out, that the modern game is different. These guys are rich, they're young and rich, and a lot of these guys have come from nothing, so they will buy gold Lamborghinis, they will wear Gucci headbands, they will live that rapper's lifestyle. And to me, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, as long as you do your job on the pitch. Look at Benzema. Look at the videos that man puts out. You'd think he was in a music video with Drake. But I think Arteta struggles to deal with these kind of characters and that new generation. Because Arteta, I can't imagine Arteta having a Gucci headband around that Lego haircut. It just ain't going to work, you know what I'm saying? Baba Tunde said, big up, big C. Which is better, an average player with a good manager or an average manager with a good player? It is frustrating when our average players excel elsewhere. I think it depends. That's a very good question, by the way. Because I think sometimes a good manager gets more out of an average player, squeezes everything out of them. I think Klopp is like that. Klopp makes man like Henderson look top quality in his system, where I don't think Henderson is a top quality player. So it's a tough one. Sometimes a good player will just excel anyway by giving him the platform, even if you're not a great manager. So it's kind of, there's no right answer in a sense. It depends on circumstances. But good question. Ray Kwan said Pepe was a massive flop. Andy was mistreated by the manager. I would agree. Wolf said, which mic are you using? Yeah, I had problems with the mic at the start. For some reason, it keeps going off my default mic and going onto the laptop mic, which sounds horrendous. Curtis Ancelotti was smoking a fat blunt with the boys. Arteta needs to adapt. He's a dinosaur. Rex Teta. And the thing is, yeah, you look at that. That's a great point, yeah. Ancelotti is a lot older than Mikel Arteta, a lot older. And look at the way the man's embracing the generation. Man's standing there in sunglasses, smoking a big fat cigar with Alaba and Vinicius and these, man. He's embracing what it is. The modern game has changed. These men aren't all goody two-shoes, turn up, train, yes sir, 3 bags full, sir. No, man, I'll drive off in my basketball shirt and my Gucci headband in my gold Lamborghini, bro. That's the way it is. As long as I'm performing on the pitch, that's all that matters. Benzema, big drip, fam. That guy don't mess about. All fact, Arteta is the problem. Dre's laughing. I'm telling you, man, the problem will hold us back. I do think there's been a slight turn in the fan base. I think a lot of people now are starting to see that this manager ain't quite what they thought he was. And I know a lot of us maybe thought it a lot sooner. That's why he's called Don Carlo. That brother don't ramp, people. That brother don't ramp. He's been managing since, what, the early 90s, late 80s? Look at the way he's embraced the modern game, man. It's unbelievable. One of the best in the world. Dino, thank you for the super chat. Said Arteta's got a problem with that Aubameyang Lacazette crew who were looked up to by Guendouzi's and Salibas. Saka, Nelly and ESR distance themselves. Sometimes managers come into dressing rooms and a lot of dressing rooms are controlled by players, let's be honest. You know, your Vieiras and Henrys. At Chelsea, it was John Terry and Drogba, Lampard. Players generally control the dressing room. Now, some managers feel threatened by that. And I think Arteta would have looked at Aubameyang, would have looked at all that group, Aubameyang, Pepe, Lacazette, Guendouzi, Saliba, and probably thought, I don't like the fact that our leader is that kind of character. Because look how many things Granit Xhaka has done wrong. Sendings off and all that, but he doesn't seem to have a problem with him because he likes his character, which is interesting, you know. And Xhaka's not exactly an elite player, is it? Wasim said it's the ego, Curtis. When you've worked for one of the best managers in the world, you're going to think you're something special and rank yourself highly. And I think he's totally trying to model himself on Pep Guardiola. But it hasn't quite worked. 87 said, Big C, my brother, I've tried to support Arteta. If I say I can't, the fans tell me I ain't a real fan. It's sickening. Listen, we've all tried to support him by supporting the team. You can support, this is what I try and tell people all the time. You can support your club without believing this manager is good enough. Because every time we play the game, we sit here, we support, we go through that roller coaster of emotion. After the game, we talk about it. And that's when you can say what you feel. So nobody can tell you you ain't a fan just because you don't think the manager is good enough. Maybe it's those fans who are holding the club back because they think this guy is still a top manager. I don't know. It's all opinions, people. The players Arteta rates are the ones who reminds him of himself as a player and in terms of attitude, you know, because apparently Arteta had a very good attitude when he was at Arsenal. Gunnar Roller said, well said, see, Arteta was an average, hard-working player that probably had to struggle and most likely resented being overlooked by the superstar type. And you know what? That is another great point because sometimes, right, those players that become managers... All right, let me put this into context without coming across disrespectful. Arteta was a okay player, right? He came in for Fabregas. It was a big downgrade. I think sometimes those players that run through brick walls every day in training to try and be the best that they can be, sometimes I think they resent that naturally talented baller that can do it without having to run through that brick wall. So he might look at an Aubameyang or an Ozil and think, look at these, man. They don't train like I trained, but look how talented they are. You know, the first time he slips up, I'm getting rid of him. Because remember, there was no problem with Aubameyang. No one cared about him turning up late when we were winning the FA Cup. Because let me tell you, he was turning up late back then as well. That wasn't a new thing that just started happening. Aubameyang was turning up late. But when he was banging goals in, oh, my manager, him and Arteta are arm in arm. You know, it was all good. As soon as the goals went, oh, he's a problem in this dressing room. Let's get rid of him because he turns up late. So I think he knew as soon as he slipped up, bang, he was getting him out the door. Because why is that same energy not with Granit Xhaka? A player that has never performed at Arsenal. Why has he never been looked upon as somebody that we need to get rid of? But it is what it is, people. It's personalities, and you know, sometimes it don't connect with certain managers. Let's get into the next story anyway. The Athletic. The biggest cappers on social media for Arsenal. It wouldn't surprise me if Edu and Arteta write these stories themselves. Gunner23 said no caps for Spain. Assassin said, Curtis, it's been hard to watch Arsenal this season. You've been amazing with the content. Thoroughly enjoyed your channel this season. Big love from the community. Brilliant community. Big up Assassin6. Big up everyone. And as I said, it's been a rough season, but you've made it enjoyable making the content, people. So big up to everyone in the community. 2,400 of you in here right now. Amazing. And 70 of you on Twitch. David Ornstein. I mean, you can read the full piece if you want on The Athletic, if you subscribe to them. But he said, just briefly, what no Champions League football could mean for Arsenal. He said the club are still hopeful on Gabriel Jesus. They believe they've been able to already agree personal terms. His agent has indicated he would still consider coming with no Champions League. I think that's pretty... Look, I think if a better option if a better option came about for Gabriel Jesus, I'm sure you could turn him and make him want to go somewhere else. You know, maybe he likes the Prem and London and he wants to stay here. But if he ends up with a better option, it wouldn't surprise me if he rejected us. But they're still hopeful. Apparently, the issue is going to be negotiating the price. Manchester City asking for big money for him, considering he's only got a year left. So much for Pep doing Arteta a favour, yeah? The man put out all them cones for you. And you won't even give him a discount. They've said UEFA Champions League may have meant an additional signing or two. And here we go, people. Here we go. And I ain't talking about Fabrizio announcing a signing. I knew that this was going to happen. And I think all of you would have known this. This is what I said all along. I'm so desperate for this club to get Champions League football. So the owners have got nowhere to hide. Already, they're going to have somewhere to hide because already they're feeding us the narrative. Oh, we're not going to sign quite as many players because we don't have Champions League football. Okay, there we go. First excuse. This is the first excuse that they're going to use for Europa League. It's all, we knew this was going to happen and it is going to happen. Our kits will be bigger signings than the players that will probably sign this summer. Ross, big up yourself for becoming a member. Really appreciate it. And member stream will be on Monday, people. Member stream on Monday will round up the season. And obviously, if the unthinkable did happen and Timo Pukki handled business, we'll be celebrating. But if what we expect to happen happens, we'll be having a bit of a moan about the Europa League. Ish said, first time I watched Big C when he was in the rain in the protest and no one was there. Yeah, man, I thought I was in a Usher Raymond You Got It Bad video, mate. You know, it's crazy. So there's the first excuse. Champions League may have meant an additional signing or two, so we're not going to buy as many. It will be harder to persuade Saka to sign a new deal. Now, just adding to that, Fabrizio Romano was on Caught Offside podcast, and he said that that Bukayo Saka is very keen on playing Champions League football. I did say a long time ago, and I will say it, this Arsenal process, sorry to use that word, but this is what they've fed us for the last 2.5 years. This Arsenal process is very easy to pull apart because we're basing it on the whole of this youth project. And I'm telling you now, when you're in Europa League, it's not difficult to come and cherry pick one of these guys. Do you think if Jurgen Klopp sits there and says, you know what? We need an English player. Let's go for Saka. Or if Mahrez, who's 30, 31, left Man City and he goes and get... I think these guys would leave. I think they would leave because you only get one career. You only get one career. Don't get me wrong. He will probably sign the new deal. We'll have to give him more money. You know, we've already given him the number 7 shirt. So we've already put a youngster on top of the pedestal. He's basically the star player of the football club at the age of 20. We've very little achieved so far in his career. Now, that's not his fault. That just shows where we are as a football club, that our young up-and-coming players are the star players. That's why they're the ones all over the shirts trying to be sold, you know. Zach said he was a teacher's pet for Wenger. Even Frimpong said when we walked in for training, he always used to see Arteta speaking to Wenger early in training. You know exactly what kind of player he is, man, you know. He's the teacher's pet. Big up Meletis, thank you for becoming a member. Big up to you for supporting. And like I said, member stream will be about 4:30. We'll do it on Monday, people. So make sure you get involved on that one. And it also said we must learn how to recover from defeats. I mean, do you really need to have an investigation into that? Like, do you need to sit down and look at? Everyone knows that. Yeah, you got to learn to recover from a defeat. Okay. I didn't know that. I mean, every manager in the world knows that. Why couldn't we recover from Tottenham? Why did we look so exhausted and finished going to play against Newcastle? Why was there no fight? You know, it's pure cap. It's pure cap. And you know what? It's going to be a long summer, people. Let me tell you, it's going to be a long summer. And I'm going to apologize in advance because I'm going to talk on this show day after day about a number of players that we're not going to sign. And so I'm apologizing in advance. But I have to cover it just in case. But don't be surprised if this is a very underwhelming transfer window. I hope I'm totally wrong. I hope they pull something crazy out the bag. But it wouldn't surprise me if Jesus is the star signing of the summer or someone like that, which for me isn't enough. Latte said, Kroenke is the problem. The rest of the fans will wake up when Saka, ESR and Martinelli leaves and Arteta still can't get fourth. Mid-table mentality. Big up yourself, Latte. And listen, said it before, I don't understand why a lot of the fan base won't apply more pressure, won't push this football club quicker. People have to understand, this owner has just won the Super Bowl, one of the biggest sporting events in the world. He's invested billions, not millions. He's invested billions into that club in America. We're over here getting the scraps off the plate, celebrating that we got 150 million. Forget 150 million. The guy needs to spend 250 million and then go and spend another 250 million. He can fix this Arsenal in probably 1 or 2 transfer windows if he was serious enough. But he ain't serious. He's not serious. We're customers, we get the kits, and we get whatever they feed us. You know, it's like being put to the back of the line and saying, listen, whatever's left, you can have it in the bowl, mate, but these lot are having first on all the best food. That's all we are. We're at the back of the line getting the sloppy leftovers, you know, and the crumbs off the plate, people. It's embarrassing. I don't know what point the Arsenal fan base actually come together and say, you know what, this owner is draining this football club from top to bottom. You know, just because he spent 150 million, don't buy into that. He had to do that. And what did the 150 million do for us, people? You know, where did it get us? 5th, where we were anyway under Emery. Most of us wanted Emery sacked after getting 5th. Big up Wonder Wizard with a super sticker. Appreciate that. Big up yourself. Big up KG in here. Make sure you go and follow him. Very good Leeds channel. Big weekend for you, bro. Can you stay up? He said the Colorado Avalanche in the NHL are hot favourites for the Cup this year too. They are an excellent team. See, this guy's other sporting teams are thriving. They're absolutely thriving, people. What are we doing? We're out here starving. Andrew said, fans having a go at Saka. Saka don't want to be burned out with carrying the likes of Xhaka or El Neni for the next few years. Don't blame him if he leaves. Shameful fans having a go on Saka, Omri. Listen, you only have one football career, and the football career goes quick. Let me tell you that, people. Saka's agent is going to sit down with him this summer and say, listen, I know you're an Arsenal fan. I know you came up through the system, but boy, where are they really going? Is Europa League big enough to keep you in the England team? How much are they going to pay you? Who are they going to sign this summer? Is Arteta developing you enough as a player? Imagine you're a player and you can go and play for Pep or Klopp. You've seen the impact that they've had on other players. These men will leave if they get the opportunity, and you can't blame them, because all we've done as a fan base, not all of us, all we've done as a fan base is gone, oh, Van Persie left, he's a snake. Ashley Cole left, he's a snake. Alexis Sanchez left, he's a snake. Adebayor, snake. I mean, that's all we ever do. Oh, he's a snake, he's a snake, he's a snake. Well, how about we go, hang on a minute. Why did Robin Van Persie leave the football club? Because he had a meeting and they showed him how much money they'd earned in the last year, rather than saying, these are the players we're going to sign and we want to win the title. So he went, hold on a minute, I'm not an accountant. I'm a football player. I want to know your ambition. You're telling me how much money you've earned. Do you know what? I'll leave. I'll go and play for Ferguson and win the title. So while everyone was calling him a snake, I was going, when are we going to actually turn our attention to the football? Nasri as well. Nasri was... And you know the worst thing with Arsenal? We sell our players most of the time when they haven't even reached their best. Cesc Fabregas wasn't even at his best yet when we sold him. Van Persie reached his best probably the year after when he went to Man United. It's absolutely crazy, people. At what point do we turn our attention to the owner? The owner is the biggest problem at this football club. He hired this manager. He hired Edu. And he's hypnotized a lot of our fan base into just taking whatever they feed us. You know, as I said, Stockholm Syndrome settings, people. Sniper said, especially now without Champions League, we're at the back of the queue. Bro, let me tell you something. And some people say, well, how can that happen? With us getting in the Europa League, the Kroenkes should be spending even more money than if we made Europa League. Even more. And people will say, well, how can that happen? He's earned less money. You would have got the Champions League money. No, because you need to fix this. You need to fix this club. This team can only be fixed with finances. If we'd got Champions League, there's less pressure to spend because you probably don't need as many, but you need top players. Europa League, I actually think he needs to spend even more because like people were saying yesterday, you might have got Gabriel Jesus on 120, 130 in the Champions League, but you might have to pay him 180 in the Europa League because he's not quite sure whether he wants to. So you've actually got to spend more. You've got to spend more to get these players, you know? Man United bought Pogba for 90 million in the Europa League and gave him a fortune. That's the only way you can fix this sometimes, people. And you've got to get smart with your recruitment as well and buy better players. John, big up, said, big up Big C. This owner shall be in prison for his crimes to this club. Man like Amari, join the Reggae Boys. Big up Amari Hutchinson. Young player. You've seen him on the bench a few times for Arsenal. He's been called up for the Reggae Boys' latest squad. Big up my brother, Paul Hall, the manager. Still speak to him on a regular basis, actually. And looks like he's going to get the job permanent. So big up. Big up, Mohammed. Thank you for your kind donation. Clement said, for fans who believe fourth place is a trophy, fourth is third loser. This is a lover's mentality. We need to be challenging to the league, get into the Champions League and win trophies. This should. Listen, I totally agree with what you're saying, right? Fourth is not a trophy. But the reality is fourth is the stepping stone to challenging for the title. If we had different owners, I'd be having a different conversation. But the way we're being ran, we're not going to go from finishing 8th to challenging for the title because this owner ain't going to do enough in the market. Edu isn't going to get the right signings. Mikel Arteta's not going to manage them properly. So we do need to get back into the top 4 before we can go and challenge for the league. Now, if you had an elite manager with an owner that was giving him his full backing, maybe in one transfer window or two, we could go from 8th to challenging. But we need that progression of 4th, and we've blown it this season, unfortunately. Darren said, let this sink in. KSE will buy the stadium from Arsenal for 120 before leasing it back. And I think that was denied. I did see that story, but I'm sure they denied that in the end. But, nothing surprises you with these lot. Mamadou said, I really want to see Arsenal in the Champions League against the elite teams in Europe. Mate, unfortunately, we were lied to when we moved to this stadium. They told us they were coming here to compete with Europe's best. And basically, they moved here to make more money. They saw a huge business opportunity that, listen, Arsenal fan base are desperate to come and watch their team because we've been so successful. 38,000 at Highbury wasn't enough. We need a 60,000 all-seater. We'll move first, and we'll be the next team behind Manchester United, because United had Old Trafford, 70,000. We'll be the next in line. So how come we were so far ahead? Chelsea still have a small stadium. Tottenham only just built their stadium. We were 15 years ahead of Tottenham, and we haven't managed to capitalise, which shows that we were lied to. We came here to make more money, not to challenge Europe's elite. It was a business. Dan said Arteta has burnt Saka through injury like Ole did with Rashford. He then needed surgery and had a bad season. Same will happen to Saka. Listen, let me tell you something. You wait until we play Europa League. Last season in the Europa League, we played 14 games. You add on all the travelling, all the training, all the preparation before those games. We've been in one competition pretty much this season, the Premier League. We got knocked out of the cups fairly quick. Carabao Cup, we got quite far. So it's only going to get worse, that burnout. And that's the problem. Be the standard. We have dropped our standards. Now, I do agree with that. We have dropped our standards, you know. Anyway, let's move on, people. Let's move on before I get too caught up. So the Athletic are capping. They're already getting us prepared for the underwhelming transfer window we're probably going to end up having. A couple of transfer stories, and we'll round it up, people. So let's talk about James Ollie's got a report in ESPN today where he's talking about some bits and bobs regarding Arsenal. Arsenal have made contact with Paulo Dybala's representatives to find out what personal terms the player is seeking. Sources have told ESPN a member of Dybala's entourage held meetings in London, Manchester before flying to Spain and Italy. It's believed Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, Arsenal, Tottenham and Manchester United have all shown an interest. So as far as I'm concerned, write this one off. Yeah, he ain't coming to us in the Europa League unless we do something crazy and just pay him a bigger wage than all the rest. So his agent's just pimping him out to everyone, and whatever the best deal is, he's going to go there. According to this report, he wants Champions League football. I don't think he's going to end up at Arsenal. So I think we can pretty much write that one off in terms of Dybala. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up at Tottenham because he's been managed, I believe, by Conte before. And this is what Champions League football does. People say Champions League doesn't have an effect. In my opinion, it does. If you use it in the right way, it does have an effect. Let's have a look. There's a few more stories here, actually, that I want to bring up. Do you know what? Let me just share the screen and we'll go through it because there's a few bits that I wanted to talk about. Let me share the screen with you. But yeah, in terms of some of these players, it's going to be a no-no. A lot of you saying you don't want Dybala anyway. He's soft. Bro, he's better than what we've got. That's all I can say. And he's a free transfer as well. So some of the stories I want to just quickly skip through. Mavropanos has joined Stuttgart on a permanent deal, 3.5 million. He's already being linked with Dortmund for 17 million pounds. So already, is this another one we're going to look back on and go, why did we sell him so cheap? You know, why did we allow him to go for 3.5 million? Look at this, brother DG in the chat. You better listen, Stephen Bergwijn, relax yourself. Man said, AK, the light skin, hook the. Big up DG. Hey, DG, you better not be at the Armory, you know. I'm telling you, I reckon that shirt. I reckon you're getting that shirt today. I reckon you've been spotted outside the Armory, man, getting the new shirt with DG 13 on the back, man. But big up DG each and every time, man. Jamie said, you said it in the stream the other day, Curtis, got to look down the table and start picking up some ballers, 100%. 100%. Like I said, you look at that Liverpool team, 50% of their team is from lower clubs. Just smart signings. Obviously, they bought Van Dijk for huge money, but you look at Robertson, you look at Henderson, you look at Sadio Mane, Joe Gomez, Wijnaldum, obviously, who's left now, Milner. Players like this, you know, they got them from lower clubs in the Premier League. And for me, we should be looking at Phillips, at Rafinha, at Basuma, at Cucurella, at James Ward-Prowse. Premier League proven leaders. For me, Arsenal need to go and sign a captain this summer because we don't have a captain. people can talk about Kieran Tierney. He doesn't play enough football to be the captain. I don't want my captain on the physio's bench for half the season. So I think Arsenal need to sign a new captain this summer, first of all, before we start with anything else. Go and get a skipper, because we ain't got no leader. I looked at Martin Odegaard the other day. I didn't see no leader on the pitch at Newcastle. He's too nice to be a captain. Noel said, big up, see, you are right. These players were told and shown that Wenger had money to spend only if he sold players, so they left. Listen, I said this years ago, people. I said it years ago. People have to understand the club were the problem. Yeah. Adebayor said the club sold him. He didn't want to leave. Van Persie was shown charts of finances. We didn't do enough to keep these players. It's on us. If you create a good enough environment, these players won't look elsewhere. KD said, Big C, we're in the top 5 spending in Europe. I think the issue is not the owner, but the recruitment. If you own a £2.5 billion business and you hire a sporting director with no real experience, you hire a manager with no real experience, and they blow your money, and you don't oversee that money, how it's being spent, and the way that contracts are being allowed to run down, you're as much to blame as the people who you've hired. Because how, as an owner, if I'm the owner of a football club, I'm not allowing Alexis Sanchez's contract to run down. With 2 years left, the alarm bells are ringing, because that's my prized asset. So I'm getting him in the room. Listen, Alexis, new contract? No? Cool. All right, we're selling you this summer. You don't want to leave? Cool, you're playing under 23s. Let's see if you leave now. Man City have offered 60 million. All right, tell them we want 70. 65, yeah, man, you're gone. You can't walk out of that door for free. Lacazette, 50 million. What? Year left. Roma want him. Get rid of him. Yeah, I'm not keeping him. So this owner's as much to blame as the guys who've spent the money. Hasn't looked after his money properly. That's not how you run a successful business. The problem is he's making so much money out of Arsenal that he doesn't even mind that he blew 60 million on Alexis, not selling him, and Aubameyang left for free. But he's mismanaged the football club, because he's not interested in what happens with the sporting side. He just needs dough. He wants dough in his pocket. Latte said, skipper Ward-Prowse. I'd take Ward-Prowse. Got to be honest, I thought he was a set-piece merchant, but he's been good this season. He has been good. Let's just go through these few stories. Arsenal will target quality, not quantity. Here we go. In the transfer market this summer, with the club ready to significantly back Mikel Arteta again. Arteta has told Edu and Chief Executive Vinay he wants 2 top players in every position. I mean, you know what? When I was growing up, I wanted Christina Milian as well, people. But, sometimes it just don't happen. It just don't happen. Yeah, 2 top players in every position. I think every manager in the world wants that. Is that likely to happen? Oh, dear. You want 2 top players in every position, but you gave Rob Holding a 4-year contract. You gave Granit Xhaka a 4-year contract. No, 2-year contract extension. You're begging Eddie Nketiah to stay. You're twerking like Beyonce in a Destiny's Child video for Eddie Nketiah. But these are your 2 top players in every position, yeah? Somebody make that make sense, because it don't make sense to me. Bro, Christina Milian, let's not even have that conversation. It was wild. Got to check the shoulders quick, Got to be careful. Mr. Frequency said, big up Big C. Gabriel is the only current player that displays leadership on the pitch. Get the armband off that Sarfu. Yo, I'm telling you, someone put in the comments, I've seen yogurt harder than this Arsenal team. I'm telling you, this team is soft, brethren. Soft. Get the armband. Just pull it off that guy's arm. Say, what the hell are you doing with the captain's armband up, man? But yeah, the only thing with Gabriel, he's got a slight Granit Xhaka tendency in that he's got a red card in him. He wants to fight everyone. He needs to calm down with that. Michael said, yo, I knew it, Christina Miller. Yeah, bro. Man. That was, that was the one growing up. I can't lie, people. It was all mad. Captain Uncle, relax, people, relax. We're trying to, you got to check the mirrors before you turn the corner, people. You can't just whip round the corner, you know. You got to check your mirrors first. Next minute you start crashing, man. Dip it low, dip it up, blood, fire. Anyway, let's talk football. Let's talk football, people. Anyway, before we get caught off guard here, go on, make sure that door's locked, you know. Anyway, let's move. Here we go. More cap. UEFA Champions League qualification would have been a helpful factor in persuading Saka to sign a contract extension. Other squad members would have been hoping to renegotiate new deals on Champions League wages, but significant change in the structure now feels unlikely. I mean, what? Is Eddie asking for a Champions League contract? I feel like they're buttering us up here a little bit, you know, just in case Saka maybe says no. Saka might be saying, yo, brethren, I went to the Euros, you know, I was playing ahead of Foden and them, man. Them man there have got 6-7 trophies in their trophy cabinet. I got my one FA Cup trophy, you know, I need more than that. You know what I mean? So I would love to know who these other squad members are, by the way, that want Champions League wages. Because, you know, I don't know who that is. Big up Peach with a super sticker. Appreciate that. If Eddie wants Champions League wages, you tell him, go on, man. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. Man said doors locked, but she watching. Yeah, smash up the likes, people. Make sure you lick down the likes. Don't forget, tomorrow will be the last press conference reaction of the season, pre-game anyway, as we get ready for Everton. And don't be surprised on a certain green screen you see tomorrow. Because I don't think it's Arsenal we need to support this weekend. It's a certain team that plays in yellow who are bottom of the Premier League. Let's be Avenue settings, Delia Smith business. They meant Conference League. Yeah, maybe they did. Maybe they did. Shahira said Martinelli now has 11. Check his Insta story. Yeah, I brought that up earlier, man. He's got the 11, but I don't know. Do I get thingy? Do I get hyped that he's got the 11? Not really. I'd like to see him score more goals. Then we'll talk about your squad number. Because let's be honest, Smith Rowe, that 10, I don't know. I think it's weighed him down a bit. Arteta and Edu will still have access to a substantial budget. Here we go, the war chest. The war chest is back every summer, people. They do this every summer, right? Arsenal fail, everyone's on a downer. Then they bring out a new kit. Everyone buys the new kit. Gets hyped up, all my fresh Arsenal kit for the season. Then we get a couple new squad numbers. Oh, Martinelli 11 on the back of my new kit, even though the kit's about £100. Then the war chest story gets thrown out. Tell them we've got a war chest. That will calm them down. Then season ticket renewals turn up with the 4% rise. It's all PR, people. They've literally got people hypnotized. It's unbelievable. Yeah, this war chest that we've waited about 15 years to see turn up. And let me tell you something, 150 million ain't a war chest. There's teams paying 100 million for one player. So I don't want to hear about 150. That didn't look like a war chest to me last summer. I'm telling you now, no disrespect. You don't get Nuno Tavares out of a war chest. Yeah? More like a pigeon chest, not a war chest. So, yeah. They better relax with all that talk. They then go on to say, but the Champions League money might well have been equates to an additional signing or two. A run into the latter stages of the competition can be worth tens of millions. Oh, what? Did you not know that? Didn't you know that in January when we had no midfielders and our best striker was on a flight to Barcelona? Did they not know that then? Because, you know, if you were that serious, if you wanted that extra tens of millions, why didn't you go and buy us Bruno Gomes in centre midfield, the guy that just scored against us the other day and ripped us apart next to Joel Linton? Yeah, while our captain disappeared like Casper the Ghost. So I don't buy into this, people. I don't buy into all this. Oh, feel sorry for us now. We ain't got enough money to buy top players because we haven't got Champions League money. Cap, and more cap. Thomas Partey will not be available for Arsenal's final game. He's not ready. He needs a summer off, man. He can't be playing. Arsenal are optimistic of landing major targets such as Gabriel Jesus. They feel that the project, the city and the club make for a sufficiently compelling proposition. Oh, my days. They've gone back to London. That's it. Oh, dear me. Do you know what? I can't wait for the season to finish. I actually need to stop talking about this. It's pure cap. They're now using geography to sign a player. Do you know what, Gabriel, mate? You know, we're not the best, but you know, I know Europa League's not great, but we'll give you a pay rise. We'll give you a nice new kit with a collar on it, and you can live in London. How about that? That should convince you to join us. Don't worry about the Champions League or getting into Brazil's World Cup squad, but you know, at least you get to live in London. Bro, this ain't 1990, man. Like, he lives in Manchester. Manchester is a big city in England. They do have buildings there. He doesn't live in a shed. You know, it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. They're trying to use London as a way to convince a man to join the club. Compelling proposition. They think the project, the city, and the club will make for a compelling proposition. I'm just letting you know, he plays for the team that's probably going to win the Premier League. I'm not sure the project's going to excite him that much. It's just not. Yeah, come to London. We have a red bus and Big Ben. And the River Thames. Oh, what? Oh, my days. You've got a clock and a river. Get me out of Manchester City, the champions of England with the world's best manager. Get me out of it. They've got a clock and a river, and they've got a brand new kit with a collar on it. What more did you need to say, people? The Athletic are shameless. The most shameless articles I have ever seen. Darwin Núñez will leave Benfica this summer. Arsenal wanted him in January, but Benfica wanted 55 million euros. So make that make sense, right? Fabrizio, this is, by the way. This is how you know the club are just complete liars at times, right? Arsenal convinced us for the whole of January that we were trying to buy Vlahovic for 60, 70 million pounds. Fabrizio's now saying Benfica wanted 55 million euros, which is less than 50 million in January, and we didn't pay it. But now we want him and we can't get him. Núñez would like to play in the Champions League while Arsenal are oriented on Gabriel Jesus as a priority. Yeah, I wonder why, mate, because he's cheaper. No disrespect, who goes for Gabriel Jesus over Darwin Núñez? You know, when Darwin Núñez is a very similar player to Vlahovic, the player that apparently we was absolutely desperate for. Cap, and more cap. Pure cap. Pure crap, actually. Forget cap, it's crap. Arteta commenting on Martinelli's latest post. What number will I wear next year? Good luck, amigo. Good joke that from Torreira. Maybe he comes back. And yeah, there we go. Let's end it. Pure crap, pure cap, pure Arsenal trash. Fabrizio is another cap artist. They call him a tapping merchant, don't they? Taps in on all the. I've got two more stories, then we're out of here, people. There's only so much cap you can take in one day. Do you know what? While we're talking cap, I'll give you the biggest cap story you've ever seen in your life. This one's up there. Be prepared for this. This is up there with cap of the day, right? Guillaume Balaguer. Well, I've actually met him before, actually. He's actually a cool guy. Here we go. The latest on Robert Lewandowski. Bayern Munich continue to reject to sell him. He is doing huge daily efforts to convince the club to let him go. If he goes, Barcelona is only one of the options. Also, PSG and London clubs, Chelsea, and you guessed it, the Arsenal. So apparently, we're trying to sign Robert Lewandowski over Barcelona, PSG, and Chelsea. I mean, is it April the 1st? I don't know. I'm sorry. I have to apologise. I shouldn't even report this, but you know, we've had a rough week. I have to lift the mood a little bit, and I find this quite funny. So we're going to try and get Lewandowski, the top goal scoring striker in the world, I think, along with Benzema. We're going to try and convince him that a Thursday night in Dundalk for a 5 o'clock kickoff, that's where his career should go. But don't worry, mate. We've got London. We're in London, and apparently London gets any player in the world to join you now. Ross said, where's Dave? Dave, they're lucky I like this T-shirt. Dave, they're lucky I like this T-shirt. End the stream, Dave. Word to X, man. Word to expressions. End it. Oh man, it's crazy, people. It's absolutely crazy. It's going to be a long summer, let me tell you that. I hope everyone in the comments got holidays booked. You're going to need a break. You're going to need a break. This has been a long season. Oh man, you know I've got shirts upstairs, right, with Henri number 14 on the back. If they go and put Eddie and Nketiah on the back with number 14, let's just delete the club. Let's all move somewhere else. Let's start our own club, North London Red, Pro Evo settings. Let's finish with one last story, people. It's been a long stream, I can't lie. The cap of Arsenal is unbelievable. Arsenal's forgotten man. Remember, you know how we had a centre-back crisis the other day at Newcastle? Both centre-backs were, you know, not fit apparently and getting ram ragged by Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson's been out for about 4 months. His tooth was hanging out, and yet he looked like Romario, World Cup 98. But yeah, that centre-back that we loaned out, who deemed not ready to play for Arsenal, he's made the French squad again. William Saliba makes the French squad, you know, the world champions, the best country on the planet. He's in their squad. But don't worry, you know, Rob Holding, William Saliba, you know, it made sense for Arteta. He kept the best one. Yeah, right. Saliba's in the French squad, so big him up. He's been picked again for their Nations League games. And also Guendouzi, who we've now sold for £9 million. I mean, that makes sense. But yeah, they're both in the French squad. Big up Saliba. Just please don't mess this one up. Get him back to the club, new contract, and let him fight to get in this team. Because I'm sorry, he's got to be better than Ben White, what I've seen of that guy, man. It has to be. Big up Ariel, who said, Big C, it's my birthday. Best part is Arsenal cannot ruin it. Happy birthday, man. Enjoy your day. Don't let Arsenal ruin it anyway. Why don't you treat yourself to the brand new Arsenal kit, 22-23. Only £100 if you get the player's shirt. I'm joking, by the way. Stay away from it. Man like Saliba, big him up, big him up. Saliba is ahead of Upamecano. I think Upamecano's injured, I was reading. Rabiot over Camavinga, now that is outrageous. And that's what I'm saying. It's not easy to get into the French squad. Deschamps is a very tough guy to work with from what I've read. So, you know, these men are in the French squad, the world champions. We've sold one for 9 million. The other one can't get anywhere near the team. He better come back next season. Big up Guendouzi, big up Saliba. And yeah, there you go. We'll finish with that, people. We've been on for 1 hour and 6 minutes. Great stream. You've cheered me up today. It's been a good one. It's been a rough season for Arsenal fans, but listen, what can we do? We've tried our best. And listen, tomorrow I'll be on stream capping. I'm going to let you know from that. I'll be capping on stream tomorrow. We will be mentioning Timo Pukki and praying for a miracle that somehow Norwich can get a result against Tottenham and a miracle happens. Is it likely to happen? Obviously not. But we're just hoping for an absolute miracle. Press conference reaction tomorrow will be the biggest waffle you've ever read in your life. So make sure you come peckish. Make sure you're hungry tomorrow because this product is going to be capping. Like the video, subscribe. 2,700 of you in the chat. Really appreciate it. Lick down the like, subscribe on the way out. And I'll see you all tomorrow, people. Bless.